All right. So, I mean, we're just late to the ball game and there's no way to talk about anything else. And you know what? Who cares? We are going to tell you what our top five whiskeys of 2024 were back when the world made sense. And, we cared about who's going to make it to the Super Bowl. And it wasn't just a huge train wreck that let everybody
Mhm.
down. So, but
And
Yeah,
hey,
good choice.
everyone's been sick since.
yeah,
Like
my daughter's
flu is
happy.
going around like candy, buddy.
Somehow my daughter became an Eagles fan, and so now I have to be an Eagles fan. And hey, she's happy. She just goes
Yeah,
around
better,
telling everyone my Eagles are the best in the world. Just go with it.
yeah, better than Chiefs fan, man.
So anyway, we are going to tell you what our top five whiskeys of the year are, and then the next three videos after that will be us saying what we actually entered, because we're not going to do one giant forever video that you guys aren't going to watch. Frankly, I'm still surprised you watch our 10-minute videos, but I do greatly appreciate it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, I
So
can work in some extra monologues if need be.
yeah, I'll cut those out.
The people like it.
Yeah. They
It's what
amazingly.
the people want.
That is
And
true.
if nothing else, it just makes TJ's editing a nightmare. So,
Yep.
anyway, to explain the process, if you're unfamiliar or haven't watched any of our best of, link them above, TJ. We each rate these blind. So we send out, in this instance, 5 or 6 samples of our best whiskeys, rate them nose, palate, finish on a 1 to 5, give it an overall score. I put it in a spreadsheet, do some fancy, not really fancy, some averages, and then we get an overall score and ranking. So it's not necessarily what each of us ranked as number one, but it was the best average.
Yep.
The average to
And
best,
and
the best mediocre
and he's
bourbon, the best. Yeah.
and he's being modest. Chuck puts in some special calculation stuff to figure this all out. He like codes in Excel. I even saw him use like an equal sum at one point.
Yeah.
Who even knows how to do
whoa.
that? And so yeah, I mean it's special, people. It's special what he does.
There's some statistical models in the background. I have a Brian correction factor that I use
I was
with
going to say, there we
Covariate.
go. Yeah, that's the important thing we have to talk about. Generally, Chuck and I get our homework done on time, if not a little early, and then we get the data, and Chuck thinks he's got it kind of worked out. Then Brian does his stuff, and magically everything goes to Brianville. So the more you know.
Yeah, the more you know. But we'll get into that.
It's diversity, okay?
There's diversity here.
Different palettes.
There's variability. That's for sure.
I love it.
All right.
Let the chaos begin.
Coming in at number 5.
Coming in at number 5 is your number 4, TJ. So we're starting out with a controversial one. So this would have been, if you just had Chuck and TJ's data, this would have been number 1 whiskey of the year.
Yeah. And it was recommended to me by another really good channel who has a really good palate and a really good thing. So
Whiskey Tornado.
Lance, Whiskey Tornado. We will give you Brian's address. Sturger, also recommended by you. We will hook you guys up with that. This is Hard Truth, and it is the Master Distiller's Reserve. So it is a combination of the chocolate malt, caramel malt, and malted rye. And I absolutely love this thing. It's absolutely delicious, amazing. I think it was one of my top, if not the top of what I tasted. And Brian poo-pooed the crud out of it.
It was your number 1. It tied for number 1 for you, TJ. It was number, and again, for both of us, it was average number 1. I loved it. I picked up on the chocolate malt. I was like very chocolatey, like a cup of hot cocoa with just in a whiskey form. Bit of sour cherry in the back. But then the finish was all chocolate. Actually, I was wondering if it was a New Riff product, just because they've played around with some of those different malts.
The winter whiskey.
Yeah, really surprised, and in a good way. That was
Mhm.
hard truth. That's a well deserved number 5. Brian did not like the finish. He must not like hot cocoa and warm feelings sitting by a
So
That's
I
stove.
had that one recently, and I don't know. I mean, I have been sick, but I what you are describing is not what I remember. So I'll
we're
have
gonna
to
have to
circle
get
back to that.
Rachel in
Generally,
on
I
this
like
to do quality
generally I
control.
like generally I like hard truth.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So I'm absolutely shocked by this.
The hard
It
truth
could,
is that your palate is a little suspect. Okay, anyway, moving on. Number 4 is TJ 6T.
Oh boy. Ooh, this is a good one. This is
Cornbread
probably
oak
the most
raspberry.
expensive bottle
Ooh, I really
in
like this one.
here. Oh, I knew this was put in
Oh,
solely for Chuck because I just wanted to screw with it. And that
I
is
rank this number 2.
Barrel Infinite Blended for Take. So this is part of that our bourbon group. It is a 17-year-old ice wine finished barrel. So Barrel just did their normal ice wine finish series for like 70, $80. This one was way more than that. And it is 17 years. So distilled in Tennessee, Indiana, Kentucky, Canada, and Scotland.
This is one of the few 5 total whiskeys that Brian actually gave us tasting notes on. Light color worried me, but surprisingly solidly average.
yep.
However, Chuck says, wonderful nose, sweet butterscotch, vanilla, subtle oak, confusing palate. Almost reminds me initially of a malty beer. It was, that was it's a weird sour malty initial, but with time that became sour apple. In the end, I just said this flirts with greatness. That was really good.
Oak fig. The part I didn't like the most was the finish because I felt like there suddenly became a lot of hay grass, very rye finish on it, which was a little bit different. But everything else on it was just so good.
Yeah, I just said the palate fades to oaky, sweet bourbon, finished sweet oak, and it was high proof point. I could tell that.
Yes, it is 126.3.
I said it was in my wheelhouse.
It is
All right.
price point too.
I passed on that. Gosh dang it.
It's so
and
good. I
had
couldn't pass.
wine in the label.
Yeah.
And of course. That's why I said it flirts with greatness, like
Right.
a 1975 Chateau Lafite.
After trying the original ice wine, I was like, "Oh gosh, yep, got to do this. No question." And it lives up to the hype.
Okay, moving on. Number 3, top 3. Also,
And
TJ.
this is
Yes.
one T.
let's say, is this where I make an appearance?
No.
It held true.
TJ
I
might
love
just
it.
sweep all of it. Are you going to sweep
right.
the
Old Scout port finish,
Oh!
baby? It
There
made
we
it.
go.
So if you did not
Nice.
watch our video before,
Link it above.
yeah, there we go. I found this finally on the shelf for $80 and bought it because Midwinter Night Drum has gotten crazy. Also, there's a little bit of a scandal on Midwinter Night Drum. I saw that they removed some things from the label that makes it to where they might be doing additives with things added to it now, which is interesting. So this was a good replacement, I was told, and it lives up to the hype. I think this is my new port finished rye all day long.
Brian, do you have a bottle
what
of
number-
that?
I do. What number of that was yours, TJ?
T1.
Oh yeah, I liked it as well.
Mhm.
And I
Brian,
do like it.
It tied for your number 1 overall.
Yeah, the thing is delicious.
Yeah.
It is so good.
I
Yeah,
thought
drink
it was
that
a
all-
lemon drop. I got a lot of rye.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you don't like rye, like other people do.
No, I still rated it. We'll get to that in a different video when we share the rest of the bottles. Oh, let's bring
All
those
right.
words. Do we have that on? Yeah, we do have that recorded. So
Yeah.
Brian likes rye.
Yeah.
Okay, so top three. TJ's got the sweep so far.
Looking at what's
Sorry
left,
to.
I think I'm done. Cheers.
Well, the odds are just getting better for me to make an appearance here.
Number two is my 1C, which is Proof and Wood. Seasons.
Okay.
This is seasons 2001 or 21. Sorry, comes in this schmancy box.
Oh,
Ooh.
wow.
This was a gift from Hannah, actually.
I feel
That-
like it's
that-
expensive.
Thank you, Hannah.
Yeah,
Comes in
that
a
box alone has got to add $50 in value.
Yeah, and then like this, it's like this fancy bottle. It's nice. I have to like the label is so it's like reflective. It's really hard to read. So this is a blend of Tennessee bourbon, Indiana bourbon, Kentucky corn whiskey, and American light whiskey. So it starts the anchors with a 18-year-old Tennessee bourbon, and then 15-year American light whiskey, and then like a 7-year Indiana bourbon, and a 9-year Kentucky corn whiskey.
Okay.
Surprised
Cool.
you guys didn't poo-poo it for the Dickel notes.
You said that was your number one sample?
That was my number one. Yeah.
Yeah, I put sweet cherry oak, raspberries, oak finish. So good. Where can I get this?
There you go. You might have a hard time. Like I said, this is the season's 2021 edition. So you might have a hard time finding this one.
Yeah, let me check my notes real fast. None.
Hmm.
I
Very
rated it
oaky.
solid.
I was even questioning if it was too much oak.
Wow. That just lets you know how much oak was there. The oak man.
Yeah.
Had a nice texture too. It was syrupy. Okay. And
right.
without further ado,
My number one.
Power of Bourbon. Well, it is our number one. The Power of Bourbon's number one whiskey of 2024 is.
Drumroll.
Sorry, it is obviously one of mine since I'm reaching for it.
Yeah.
Number two sample, if you guys are
All
interested. This is barrel ice wine.
Nice. Yeah.
So what's
I gave her
interesting
that.
is we had two ice wine finishes in the top five.
Yeah.
From
And the less expensive one did
and
better.
the less expensive one wins. Yeah.
Yeah, I put on that trail mix, chocolate peanuts, peanut oak, vanilla, little oak, sweet peanut, light, pleasant, good all around. Solid fours.
I apparently like that one a lot more than the other one.
Yeah, you rated that number three. I
Yeah.
like the dry
Well,
chocolate as the finished leaves. Huh.
Mhm.
I was getting some menthol and rye notes, but clearly not a rye.
Interesting. So
There we go.
the fun order in which I did mine this year was I did the first three of TJ, then I did all of Chuck's, and then I swung back around to the final three of TJ. So I don't know if there's any correlational data there, but that ice wine I liked. Is that an attainable price point? More so?
It's
Yeah.
their standard $80.
Ah,
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's
I
worth
could
it.
probably find one at Benny's if you're interested.
No,
Still should be
I
on the
might
shelf.
grab it. Well, I'll think on that. But I
Yeah, we'll have
liked
video
it.
evidence
It was good.
that he said, Chuck, do this, and then we can show that to Rachel. So
I know, right?
he'll think this
That's
off
the thing.
camera.
That's the thing. I'm like, need to check the budget.
All right. There you go. Our top 5 whiskeys of the year. I mean, really, all of them are pretty attainable. Chuck's special one, my one special one are a little bit harder. But Other than that, the number one, once again, our number one is still under $100. We've never had a number one bourbon or whiskey go over 100. And yeah, so stay tuned. We will reveal what else we submitted, which for Chuck and I is not very many bottles. But
You
Brian's
didn't
got
let
to
me-
reveal everything.
I was gonna say you didn't call my name yet for.
I tried, man. I rated one of yours one of my best, and I didn't get any help or love from YouTube.
You were just outside
Yep.
outside the top 5.
So
Well,
there we go.
Watch my video for
Maybe
fun
next
then.
year. There's
Yep.
always next year.
Yep. You did good with the bourbon this year, so cheers. We'll see you next time.
Stay neat.
Power bourbon.